make for little more than historical footnotes, but they could be effective psychological fillip ahead of the more significant tests on the horizon. England lining up with Dean Henderson in goal tonight, Quansah, Stones, Byrne and O'Reilly, Wharton, Bowen, Bellingham, Rice and Eza, and Kane. And for Albania, Strakosha in goal, Husai, Ismaili, Jimshiti and Ali, Aslani and Ramadani, Bayrami, Lachi and Hodja and Azuni. The England bench: James, Chalobah, Spence, Anderson, Jordan, Henderson and Scott, Rogers, Saka, Foden and Rashford, with Trafford and Pickford the substitute goalkeepers. Marco Guida from Italy, vastly experienced referee. It's a man that takes charge tonight. Whilst Thomas Tuchel was brought in with one thing in mind: to deliver the World Cup. His England side remain a work in progress, but they eye qualification perfection. Can they end the campaign by winning every game and conceding none? England in all white, kicking from left to right. Albania in their traditional red shirts, black shorts. Wharton immediately in possession. Sends the ball wide for Jared Bowen, who will take it down towards the byline. He's got the ball inside the box, and Kane was waiting by the penalty spot. Didn't quite drop his way. Eza trying to make something happen. Shepherds the ball out of play. England with a corner inside the opening 30 seconds, Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, super play there. Ball played from Wharton out to Bowen, who I think it was sort of narrowed into the corner flag by two players, and it looked as though he was just trying to cannon the ball off him and get a corner, but turned into a very good cross indeed. And England got a chance now to test the Albanian backline.
With the first corner that's worked short, it comes back outside the penalty area for Eza. He finds O'Reilly. Made his debut the other day, and an impressive one at that against Serbia. Back from him to Rice, clipped inside the penalty area, but on the half volley it's spooned over the top by Jude Bellingham. Out of play for a goal kick that'll be taken by Thomas Strakosha away to our right hand side. You would talk sport live in Tirana, where night has long since fallen. Quite a mild evening, not a seat to be had around the Air Albania stadium, and it's 0-0 through the opening couple of minutes, with England on the front foot from the off, and they have developed this happy habit of starting games quickly. Albania work the ball forward to their left winger Hodja. He tries to play it back for the fullback Ali, and Jared Bowen intercepts that, puts it out of play for an Albanian throw.
Yeah, as I say, it's we've got a perfect vantage point here, pretty low down, but high enough to see almost when England drop back into sort of mid their own half, see straight across that back line, and be important that the players that have come in that maintain the intensity are the ones that have come out the side at the moment.
Strakosha fires the ball straight out of play for an England throw taken by Quansah, who's only started one game at right back so far this season. Before Bayer Leverkusen, only playing on the right of three centre-halves, and we are expecting and already seeing it that when England have possession, they push John Stones forward into the heart of midfield, a role that he's very familiar with at Manchester City, where they won the title with this formation that developed into 3-2-4-1. With Stones in there playing alongside Adam Wharton. Ball work wide out to the left for Berici Eza and Nico O'Reilly, who finds himself on the left of the three centre-halves, and Quansah in possession now on the right when England have possession and a builder. Here's Dan Byrne. Back for Quansah again. Very inexperienced England back line tonight, when you consider that Byrne has more international caps than the other two put together. He's only got 5.
Which is quite incredible. I've got to say, I said to you before the game, Jim, I'm not sure about the formation of pushing Stones into central midfield. I'd prefer our fullbacks to be pushing on and being a good foil for the wide players in Bowen and Eza. I think it's too easy for fullbacks just to latch on and say, that's my job, I'm going to mark our two wide players.
Eza coming forward towards the edge of the penalty area for Jude Bellingham. And now Quansah is able to bring it forward towards the edge of the box. A little give and go with Jared Bowen, worked into the feet of Bellingham. Bellingham out to the England right-hand side again. Bowen's ball whipped in, takes a deflection on its way through, falls on the Declan Rice's right foot. Shot on target for England, volleying towards the bottom left-hand corner, comfortably saved by the diving Strakosha, and through the opening 4 minutes it's 0-0.
Yeah, we just seen there the plus side of Declan Rice playing further up the pitch, just got on the end of something, maintained an attack, and what Walton's got to do is exactly not just a defensive shield. We saw the other day that Anderson probably had more touch than any player on a pitch, knitting things together, collecting off the back line and facilitating the players in front of him.
4 minutes gone here, it's 0-0. Full time in the rugby. Let's get the details from Stuart Cameron.
Yeah, Scotland 24, Argentina 33. A huge comeback from Argentina. They've turned over a 21-point deficit. They've won 33-24. A 5-try blitz in the second half, and Scotland capitulated. Scotland 24, Argentina 33.
Thanks to his Hodja trying to find a way through. Stones stood his ground, but has been forced to concede a corner. First time that Albania have really been able to get any kind of possession in the England final third. And they've won a corner from it, which will be taken on the left flank. 0-0, 5 minutes gone here on Talk Sport.
England has shown a real confidence when they're attacking, pushing everybody up. Almost the whole of the back line are pushed well inside the Albanian half, and just a little thought process. The counter-attack could be a problem going into the game.
England with all 11 back inside their own penalty area as the corner comes in. Bowen heads it away at the near post. Aslani, who took the corner, then plays it back towards Larchi on halfway. He goes back to his goalkeeper, and Declan Rice waves everybody forward as he leads the press. England have been able to get the defensive line up within 10 yards of halfway to condense the play. Albania have it at the back again with Ali and Jim Shitty, and then work through the midfield for Aslani, and then given away with a very poor pass out from the back. The Albanians were all in the wrong position there as they quickly dropped back to find some kind of defensive shape to stop an England counter-attack. They had a midfielder at centre-half, a centre-half at left-back, and they've just passed it straight out of play for a throw that'll be taken on the England right-hand side. 0-0, England with the one shot on target so far, which was a Declan Rice effort saved by the diving Strakosha, and John Stones has the ball. 87th cap for England tonight. From him to Dan Burn. Now O'Reilly. Now towards Berici Eza, who's scored 3 goals in this qualification campaign, all off the bench, including goals in his last 2 games. Latvia and Serbia. Quansah under pressure finds Byrne. Byrne will lay it back for Dean Henderson, who side foots it out towards Stones, plays the way that he's facing back to Byrne. Byrne to Wharton. Wharton can turn. Just inviting the press and playing through it here, England, with Declan Rice working it out towards the left-hand side. And this is promising from O'Reilly. In towards Kane. Played back through for the run of Rice. Strakosha off his line quickly. But it was a wonderful free-flowing move from England that very nearly got Declan Rice in.
Yeah, it certainly was, Jim. Brilliant football, forward passing all the time, movement, and what made it work there is the likes of, we spoke about earlier about Stones going into midfield, but the like of Quansah and O'Reilly have still got to get forward when they can and make that extra double up in the wide areas.
Headlines from earlier today: Ireland making it through to the playoffs. A remarkable final 10 minutes in Budapest. They trailed Hungary 2-1. They had to win that game and did so. Troy Parrott completing his hat-trick in the 6th minute of stoppage time. Hungary out. Ireland finished second in that group. Portugal won it. They stuck 9 past Armenia with Cristiano Ronaldo in the side. 3 other games taking place at the moment. Only one of them has got anything on it, really, which is the Ukraine-Iceland game. The winners of that will be in the playoffs. If it's a draw, Iceland make it through. In that same group, France, who've qualified, trail in Baku away to Azerbaijan. It's Azerbaijan 1, France 0. That, like this one, kicked off at 5 o'clock your time. England are in possession here with Dan Burn. This is 0-0 with Quansah playing it forward in towards John Stones. Stones to Bellingham, just cropping up on the right-hand side of midfield now, and showing for the return ball here from Gerald Quansah. Bellingham taking a touch and working it back inside. Stones feathers it back into his path. Quansah seen plenty of it in the early stages, and he will find Byrne, and now Nico O'Reilly can bring it forward. Hoping to play as well tonight as he did on Thursday on an eye-catching debut. Now Byrne towards the edge of the centre circle, another player who has made his debut under Thomas Tuchel, 7 of them in all, including the 3 defenders today. Now Bellingham. Now towards Jared Bowen. Bowen getting towards the byline. Another ball fizzed in towards the penalty spot, which is half cleared. Quansah can pick up the loose ball and find Byrne to his left, and even though he's the deepest lying of England's outfield players, he's still a good 6 or 7 yards inside Albanian territory. Played for by him towards Stones. Bowen makes an early run, but Stones doesn't try and arrow one over the top of the fullback Ali to play him in. He's gone the other way instead to Quansah. It's not the most pedestrian build-up from England, nor is it being played at a magnificent tempo. O'Reilly trying to do something about that, just drops it short at the feet of Wharton. And he plays it further out to the England left for more patient build-up. Rice finding Wharton. Stone showing for the ball in midfield. Back it goes towards Quansah. It's ultra patient from England at the moment.
Yeah, it is. And the Albanians are playing very narrow and just basically saying, you know, you can't come through the middle of us. England are probing, trying to go through the middle. But what they've got to do, the 2 wide central defenders have got to keep as wide as they possibly can to enable us to switch play, get it out wide, feed it into the wide players, whoever they may be, whether it be Bellingham dropping out, and then attacking from there.
So still 0-0. Here on TalkSport, and back towards Byrne again. Byrne brings it onto the centre spot before finding Stones. Back for Byrne. Byrne out to Nico O'Reilly, who's 2-0 to England when the two sides last met, with Lewis Skelly scoring a debut goal and Harry Kane adding the other. He's got a fantastic record in this fixture. A home hat-trick as well, and a goal in the previous game in this stadium between these two nations. 5 in 3 he scored for England against Albania. Chases a ball that's laid back for Strakosha. Forces another poor clearance. He curled it out towards Ali, who's immediately got Quansah on his toes, forcing him back all the time. And then Jared Bowen tries to get in there. Ball slammed away at the left-hand side from Jim Shitty. Bounces kindly for Byrne, who can just send a header all the way back for Dean Henderson. Talk to me about John Stones playing in midfield. We were led to believe that he was going to be pushing forward alongside Adam Wharton when England were building from the back. That is the way that it has transpired in the opening 10-11 minutes or so. Yeah, it is. And I think the key to this, if John goes into that central midfield area, it gets very congested in there. We've got to build up with our 3 at the back, but keep the width with Quansah and O'Reilly, and when either of those see space in front of them when they receive the ball, they've got to spring into it. That is the key for John Stones to drop back into the back line. Here's Rice. Trying to win a corner out on the England left, and he's managed that off the retreating Ramadani. So second England corner inside the opening 12 minutes. Don't forget, Jeff Stelling and Super Ali McCoy's back tomorrow morning on TalkSport Breakfast from 6 with all the reaction to final England qualifier, to Ireland's remarkable victory in Hungary today. Former England captain Loris Dallaglio is going to be on the show with the boys tomorrow as well. If you fancy something different, Chris Evans' breakfast show, weekdays from 6:30 on Virgin Radio, could be your bag. That's TalkSport Breakfast from 6 every morning, Monday to Friday. In comes this latest corner. Quansah's there to attack it. There's some pushing and shoving going on inside the box, and a free kick has been given against one of the England players. It's Stones who's up on his feet protesting his innocence. But a free kick to Albania inside their own box with 13 minutes gone at 0-0. Yeah, as I say, England are in full control of the game. There's no doubt about that. They're just probing at the moment. A couple of decent phases of play, but not really broken down this dogged back, sort of, I would say, back line, but it's the complete team, really. They're making it very difficult for England. But England are doing the right things at the moment. Good rotation within the ranks. And the key is keep moving it from side to side as quick as you can, draw players out, and then spin, turn, get in behind and out wide. Albania are in the playoffs. They've never qualified for a World Cup. They played in a couple of Euros and beat Romania in Euro 2016. We saw them score a very early goal against Italy in the Euros last year, but they've never reached a World Cup. They've got more than a fighting chance of being able to do it this time around because they simply don't concede many goals. and a tidy here at home. They haven't conceded in their last 8 qualifying matches on this ground, which is a run that goes back to 2021 and a game against Poland. It just gives you an idea of how difficult it is to break through this side. England haven't conceded in the group, of course. Albania have only conceded 3, and they'll work it forward here with Azuni. Trying to play it forward towards Hodja. Hodja was caught and stayed down, and then another subsequent challenge comes in, that one on Harry Kane, and Ramadani, who's the perpetrator of it, has been booked. First player to have his name taken today.
Yeah, Hodja there just going to ground, rolling around a little bit, saw the foul wasn't being given and got straight back up again, and then Kane was cleared out. Good decision by the referee.
So Ramadani booked. Hodja's okay. He's back on his feet. Player who's in a select band who's scored an international goal for 2 different countries. Arba Hodja, who plays his club football for Dinamo Zagreb. He won 3 caps for Kosovo, in which time he scored, and he's in his 21st for Albania tonight, with 1 international goal for Albania as well, to his credit. Here's Aberici Eza. The ball back towards the edge of the centre circle. From him to Stones, and now out towards Byrne. Byrne up the left-hand touchline for Nico O'Reilly. O'Reilly's distribution neat and tidy. He's played it back towards Declan Rice. Rice coming forward. He's motored to 72 caps, Declan Rice. Still only 26. You think how many he might end up on. There's Kwanzaa. Back from him to Stones. Bellingham showing for the ball, just going into a little pocket of space on the right-hand side. England doing their best to try and draw the Albanians out of that congested central area that you touched upon, but it's not been too easy to do that so far. Bellingham trying to do it, trying to move players out of position. Kane drops deep, he's got it now. Clipping it inside the area for Bellingham's run. Bowen trying to get on the end of it, but it's cleared, and then a right-footed effort from the edge of the penalty area. Didn't go too far over the bar from Declan Rice.
Yeah, as I say, the build-up was really good. The Albanians, there's a sort of a back 4 and then a block of 6 in front of them almost, but that are playing very narrow. And on that occasion, you just keep probing and probing, and all of a sudden they've gone past the front 4 of the Albanians, and England start to look to open them up a little bit. It's a patience game, Jim.
Patience is becoming one of England's longer suits. No, but they haven't got to games like this one inside the opening 15 minutes, for all the fact that they do now start much more quickly in matches than they previously have. Bowen trying to take on Husai, who has done well to win a throw over on that far touchline. The fullback with the bleached blonde hair. Right back has played more than 300 games in that Serie A, fine servant of Lazio, and he's got possession at the moment. Down by his own corner flag from the throw, almost overran that, had a play for a corner, and then Kane nearly caught him in possession. He just stuck his foot in Harry Kane, but he wasn't too sure where the ball had gone after that. Albania work it forward long very quickly. Burns pushed his man over. Free kick taken quickly, and Albania will be able to break. Hodja has it, running towards the bottom left-hand corner of the penalty area. Shown inside by Stones. Brilliant tackle by the retreating Bellingham. That was magnificent defending. Came in from nowhere, and he had no margin for error, because if he took anything of the man there, a penalty would have been given. That was sensational defending. They'll come forward again, though, with Husai. Husai towards the edge of the box. Left-footed effort from him. It's cleared Dean Henderson's bar. And a play for a goal kick. That's Albania's best minute of the game. 17 gone. It's still 0-0.
Yeah, 2 sides of the game we've seen here at the moment. England, patient build-up, keep moving the ball. Technically very good. And the Albanians, technically good on the ball, and they know when they see the opportunity to go for England's goal, they'll certainly do it with pace and power.
There's a bad attempt coming in from distance. And Byrne can work it forward out towards Eza. The referee just waited to see if there was going to be any advantage. There wasn't. He was fouled there by Smiley. Aberici Eza winning a free kick. I wonder whether he is going to find himself more than anybody else. Eza cast as a role of perennial substitute and a closer for this England team. Already, as I mentioned earlier, with 3 goals off the bench within this qualification campaign. Well, he might find against tiring defenders that a little bit more space, that plays into his skill set a little bit more. Dan Burn laying it back for Quansah. Ezra starting wide on the left today for England rather than in a more central area, although he came on in this same role the other night and really caught the eye. Stones has got it now in front of Silvino, the one-time Arsenal man who has coached Albania to great success over the last 3-4 years or so. He's won nearly twice as many games as he's lost. Back from Rice. O'Reilly has it. Quansah inside the centre circle. Just rolls the ball back with his left foot and then plays in Dan Burn. Stones clipping it first time under pressure, looping ball back. Quansah had plenty of time to control it. There's no harm done. And he's got it now and worked it back behind square for Dan Burn, who just stumbled a little as he brought it under control. He can find O'Reilly. O'Reilly going out towards Ezra. Ezra gliding through the space in the midfield, into the feet of Stones. Back from him to Quansah. Bowen on the England right has got it. Attacking the edge of the penalty area. Comes back inside for Jarrell Quansah again. To Bellingham. Back out towards Bowen. Bowen taking it on. Trying to get the long way around the fullback, Ali. His cross is blocked, and then Ali will be able to complete the clearance down the left-hand side, only for John Stones to get there first. And the ball has just gone over the line and out of play for a throw, which will be taken by Albania. You're listening to Talk Sport, live in the southern area of the Albanian capital tonight. 20 minutes gone, and still 0-0 between Albania and England.
Yeah, Jared Bowen's delivered 4 crosses already at this early stage of the game. But we failed to get on the end of them. They're sort of almost a little bit hurried. I think he's got to deliver a touch more quality if he possibly can.
It's Jared Bowen's first start for his country since that game that Adam Wharton made his debut up at St James Park prior to Euro 2024. Some 17 months ago, as Ezra wins a free kick. He started 6 games for England before today, but just has found opportunities and minutes hard to come by, although he's come off the bench here and there under Thomas Tuchel. Back he goes now from Stones to Burn and out towards Ezra again. Quansah. The edge of the centre circle to Burn. O'Reilly drops off and plays it past Barani out on the far touchline. Ezra's got it. Rice making another one of his lung-busting runs forward, but he needed the ball to be played from his club teammate first time, otherwise it's going to be offside. England work it the other way, and Stones to Bellingham. His ball just went in behind Jared Bowen, and a promising move quickly evaporates.
Yeah, this is one of those games, if England score first, I think they break the Albanians' hearts. But why they're in the game at 0-0 still, they're vigorously doing their defensive work, and on the odd occasion they have turned it over. They've looked quite a threat, because technically they are very, very good.
Jean-Philippe Mateta has equalised for France in that game in Baku. Azerbaijan won, France won. And that's an academic one. France have already qualified and Azerbaijan are out. Latvia lead in Serbia by a goal to 0 in the other game in this group. Rukovskis has scored that. But again, that is academic. Serbia, they weren't out when England beat them the other night. They are now, because other subsequent results have gone against them, denying them a qualification place in the playoffs through their Nations League position. And indeed, Moldova and San Marino have also been eliminated on the same basis over the last 24 hours. Here's Bowen playing the ball out towards the right-hand side for Quansah. Now to Wharton. Stones has it. Stones clipping the ball to the bottom left-hand corner of the penalty area over on the far side from us. Ezra going up for it, beaten by Husai. And the ball goes out of play for a throw, which has been given England's way. Assistant referee on the far touchline seemed to be in two minds throw, but it has gone England's way. Not too far adrift of the edge of the Albanian box, and a chance to get the white shirts forward. O'Reilly back from him to Adam Wharton, and O'Reilly back for Burn. Burn getting it forward again in towards the feet of John Stones. Quansah can come forward. Bellingham with his back to the direction of play, just trying again to draw a central midfielder out of position to leave a passing avenue open for Stones. England able to maintain possession easily. They've been completely dominant in that regard through the opening 24 minutes. Just give it away for a moment over on the far touchline, but get it back again just as quickly with O'Reilly. Possession actually up at 77% for England, but play's going to have to stop just for a moment because Kisai over on the far touchline has gone down, and the Albanian medical staff are going to come on and have to give him some treatment. And it gives us a chance just to consider what we've seen in the opening 24 minutes. England neat and tidy without creating an awful lot. They've had the one shot on target quite early on from Declan Rice. They haven't created too many opportunities since then, but you talked about patience being one of the watchwords tonight.
Yeah, it is. You know, the Albanians are defending very well organised, good shape, and playing very, very narrow. The wide players are tucking in nicely. What we've managed to do is get Declan outside that press and Bellingham on occasion outside the press. So the two wide central defenders out of three have got to maintain their width as best possible, because you're going to find it very, very difficult to play through the middle of this Albanian side.
Well, Albania will have to make a change. Two sides not going to be able to continue, and Ivan Balju is going to come on, the Spanish-born defender who's played more than 100 games in La Liga, and he will come on and slot in at right back. So it's the change made. 25 minutes gone. Now it's still Albania 0, England 0. France have turned it around. Christopher Nkunku has put them ahead, although there is a VAR check, I understand, on that goal. At the moment, France leading by 2-1. But it could end up being ruled out. In fact, it has been ruled out for a handball. So 1-1 still between Azerbaijan and France. Latvia leading in Serbia. Portugal won 9-1 earlier. They've made it through after that crushing victory against Armenia, and Ireland sensationally got through by beating Hungary 3-2 to make the playoffs. England forced to concede a free kick. Jude Bellingham just leaning over Ismaili, who's the player that he fouled, offering a hand of apology and helping him back to his feet. It'll be a free kick that'll be taken about 5 yards inside their own half. Albania can work it forward again. They've not got a great record against top 10 nations in their history. Have won only 3 out of 57 and have lost the last 13. And they're hoping to extend those runs tonight. As Bayrami plays the ball back here, Ramadani are getting it forward again. First time ball in from Balju. It's half cleared outside the penalty area. England can work it further clear towards Kane. Tries to buy the free kick. A referee says play on because Kane worked it out towards Rice as he was being fouled. And now Bowen's got it with Kwanzaa making a run to his right. It's gone the other way towards Bellingham. Kane back on his feet, sprints towards the edge of the penalty area. Bellingham can't quite find him, but he was brought down. And it's going to be a free kick to England in a central position about 12 or 13 yards outside the area. And Kane comes across to complain that no yellow card is being shown for either the foul on him or that subsequent one on Jude Bellingham. Yeah,
I think it's important as well with England. On occasion they can't get through and lose the ball trying to probe, and brings the Albanians on with a quick attack. As soon as we stop that attack, we have to make sure, because they're out of shape slightly, that we attack them very quickly.
So 0-0 score, 27 minutes gone here in Tirana. Declan Rice orchestrating this free kick. There's only one man in the wall. It's just beyond Rice's range, I would suggest, but he's got Byrne on the left-hand side of the box and Kane to try and play in as well. It's taken a touch on its way through. Goalkeeper Strakosha with quick hands did well. Kane got something on it and flicked it back through the 6-yard box. So Strakosha just got there ahead of Bowen, who was lurking with intent. Now Albania will try and get it forward quickly with Ramadani. Ramadani caught off the ball there by Bellingham. And a free kick. Again, the referee says play on. You've got possession. They've worked it quickly out towards Zuni. And it's been played off him and out for a throw. Good defending by Dan Byrne, but that was a needless collision in the heart of the midfield involving Jude Bellingham.
Yeah, it was. As I say, there was not much in it, but got to say, what the Albanians have got, they've got a mentality of when we do get the ball back, we attack as quickly as we possibly can, and that in itself, the alarm bells ring a little bit.
Rice again leading the press. Albania working back towards Strakosha. Long ball over the top from him towards Chazim Larchi, who certainly seemed to be offside. Thomas Tuchel is furious that no flag came up. Next phase of play, Albania have it. They're working forward again. No flag against Larchi. Ball laid back through the penalty area, and now the flag comes up.
As I say, they generate a lot of excitement here when they do actually get the ball forward. There's an intensity about their play, and every pass is a forward pass. Every run's a forward run.
Well, they're playing with a confidence, and it might not be the best Albanian side in history, although it would be pretty close, I would suggest. As mentioned earlier, they might reach the World Cup for the first time. Statistically, though, it is. They've won 5 in a row coming into this. It's something Albania have never previously managed. The FIFA World Rankings, they're down in the low 60s, but in the yellow ratings, which we always talk about being slightly more accurate, they're up at 50. And they've, I think, got a decent chance with a half-decent draw of making it through to their first ever World Cup as one of the 4 sides who will qualify through a European playoff place. John Stones has got it. Plays it down towards Jude Bellingham. Bellingham caught in possession. There's good play by Azuni. That's the cue for Hodger to make his way forward very quickly. Back out towards Azuni again on the left-hand side. Back to the fullback, Ali. Now Jim Shitty bringing the ball under control. Can find his centre-half partner, Ismaili. Work forward into the feet of Barami on halfway. Aslani comes and shows for the ball in midfield. The man that scored the winner in Andorra on Thursdays, playing his club football for Torino this season. Hodger's got it now, and he will come forward, running with real intent towards the edge of the penalty area. Slips it off to his right, almost got the return ball. Stones made sure that he didn't, but just had to send a looping clearance straight out of play. He's never got any second thought, Hodger. When the ball is at his feet, he is going to run as quickly as he can, very direct towards the edge of the penalty area to try and make something happen.
Well, I have a lot of frustration with wide players who play the ball backwards and sideways. That's certainly not the case today. All of their players, and certainly Hodger on this side, they're very, very dynamic and direct.
Well, he's won Albania's second corner. Just an away swinger from that far touchline, headed away well by Kane on the edge of the 6-yard box. Now back out towards the far touchline where they elect to let it go out of play for a throw. He's a little bit like, and he's taller, not quite the same build as Xherdan Shaqiri, but he's the same kind of player when he gets it. When Shaqiri used to really be at his best, that he will get it and just drive at you.
Yeah, and good technique with both feet as well.
Ali, they're trying to release him again, and he's quick. He gets to the byline. He's kept that in very well. Stones didn't get it away. Player coming in from behind and can win it back. Albania forced back outside of the England penalty area, but work it with Azuni. Down towards Ali. On the left-hand touchline is Chazim Larchi. Back from him to Ramadani. And England with nearly everybody behind the ball, forcing Larchi to go back inside his own half, but it's going to come straight back again with Jim Shitty. Opportunity for Larchi to try and turn in the midfield. Barami then lost it. No foul. Despite what the boos and whistles of the Albanian supporters will tell you, the referee Gita said play on, and Bellingham will work it out to the England left-hand side and get a quick return ball from Declan Rice, who's covered an awful lot of ground.
Yeah, he has. He's working that sort of inside left channel, darting in behind on occasion, getting wide to receive to feet, and he's doing his level best to unhinge this midfield of Albania.
It's 0-0 here on TalkSport. We'll give you the TalkSport England trivia question in a couple of minutes, going back to the 1980s for the last one of 2025. We'll give you about half an hour or so to think about that, and give you the first airing of the question very shortly. Harry Kane's in possession for England. He's worked it down the right-hand side, but Bones beating his man beautifully. Gets towards the byline. Just waited a little bit too long before delivering the cross, and Aslani could come back and block it. Just doubled up with Ali, the fullback, who's losing many of his battles against Bowen, and then Kane just got caught as he tried to play the ball forward. He got clipped, and it's another England free kick, 20 outside the box.
I'll tell you what, the Albanians are not giving Harry Kane a moment's rest. He's dropped deep on occasion to pick it up. He's received it in the opposition's half, but every time he gets it, it's as though they've been told, whatever you do, don't let him get away from you, commit a foul. And frustration was etched all over his face there.
Well, he's made his way forward and he's just bending over inside the D, just adjusting his socks. Declan Rice is the player that is standing over the free kick itself. Everyone apart from O'Reilly and Rice, the free kick taker, are around the edge of the penalty area. Kane, Bowen, Wharton all jockeying for position. Rice sending it in deep. Byrne goes up, climbs the heights, heads it down. Albania should be able to get it away easily with Aslani, who could take a touch and then another, and then he's forced to work back inside his own penalty area by Kwanzaa. But he can get it clear eventually. O'Reilly loses out on halfway, and the lively Azuni has won it back. He'll try and play the ball down the right-hand touchline for Barami's run, but it was a misdirected pass. That'll be picked up by Dean Henderson. England building from the back again. Still 0-0 here on TalkSport. Jim Proudfoot and Stuart Pearce talking through the action of the Air Albania Stadium. We'll have all of the reaction from Thomas Tuchel and today's headline makers with our England correspondent Faye Carruthers asking the questions in the post-match interviews at the conclusion of this game. Imagine Alan Pardew taking your reaction on 08717 223344. Madge will be delighted that his royalties have gone up after the pre-match playlist here in the Air Albania Stadium. He was noted his finest Boney M inspired contribution. Did get an airing about an hour before kickoff, so the drink's on Madge tonight. It's 0-0 at the moment. Let me give you the first reading of today's trivia question then. It surrounds Alex Scott. I'll just go through it in a moment. Albania have won possession very cheaply in the midfield. Can take it on towards the edge of the penalty area. Slip it out towards Ali on the left-hand side of the box. He's pulled it back, little step over. Everybody missed it except for Reza, who can get it under control and very gratefully bring it away. And now England will try and break quickly. Bellingham in towards Kane. Kane again being wrestled, has done well. Bellingham's got Bowen to his right-hand side. Slips him in now. Jared Bowen across the face of goal. Strakosha got a right arm to it to beat it away. Again, some very physical treatment being dished out to Kane and Bellingham, trying to deny them any opportunity around the edge of the penalty area. But England's best move of the game sees Bowen thwarted by Strakosha, and England get a corner.
Yeah, really good play there by England. As I said earlier, when you turn it over from an Albanian attack, when they're unhinged slightly, you've got to really go after them. We've done exactly that then, and a good save by Strakosha.
France are now 2-1 up away to Azerbaijan. Akliush has scored that. Still 1-0 Latvia leading in Serbia. It's 0-0 between Ukraine and Iceland, which would see Iceland in the playoffs. 0-0 here as well, with England poised to take their third corner. In from the left-hand side from Wharton. Good header comes down, and Strakosha is able to dive to his left to make the save. I think it was Kwanzaa that got the contact, powering a header into the ground, but Strakosha can gratefully claim.
Yeah, we've tossed a couple of outswing corners in. I'd like to see us maybe whip something in underneath the crossbar, get the goalkeeper tempted off his line.
Stones clears, and that'll go out of play for a throw. So here is the trivia question. Alex Scott on the bench tonight for England, born in Guernsey, so he would be England's 8th international of the 21st century not to have been born in England. Now, in the 1980s alone, there were 6. Can you name them? So that's 6 players played for England in the 1980s who weren't born in England. We'll get the views of the team at the back end of half-time. Hopefully a few pointers. We'll go through the answer for you just past the midway stage of the second half. 6 players who played for England in the 1980s who weren't born in England. Declan Rice, Wharton played forward, Kane on the stretch. The ball well knocked away. Jared Bowen coming in off the right flank, trying to get there. It was a well-timed challenge to thwart him. And then another really good one from Wharton, but he's going to be booked for it. I thought he'd won it cleanly, but Aslani went down and Adam Wharton is in the book.
Yeah, just got there slightly late, I've got to say. Badrami made a lot, Aslani, sorry, made a lot of that. Up on his feet now. But the game's just evening out a little bit. We're waiting for that clear-cut opportunity from England. I think set plays, we've not looked a real threat, have we? Walton's been over there taking them, and we've got some physical presence in our side. You look across our back line, I expect probably a little bit more threat from corners.
Stones has got the ball. Byrne behind him. England have won all 7 of the previous meetings between these two. Stewart playing in one of the ones here back in 1989. It was here, this site, not this stadium. This stadium has been built over the old demolished Jamal Stafford Stadium, and apologies for any pronunciation there. England also played at the older ground here in 2001 when, as Adrian mentioned earlier, England won 3-1. Andy Cole scored what ended up being his only international goal, and Ashley Cole made his international debut that day. The one goal that Albania scored that day is the only one they've ever scored against England, with Altin Rakli, the man that scored it. Rice has got possession for England now. In towards Stones, loop ball forward. There's a going up for it, knocked away easily by the substitute right back Value, and Albania are able to make ground up the right-hand touchline and win a throw about 10 yards inside their own half. Coming up towards half-time, Stuart, 5 to go to the break. It's going to be the gist of the half-time team talk from Thomas Tuchel. What will he feel needs the greatest improvement here?
I think we've got to guard against their counter-attacks. We've seen it on a few occasions. They go with real venom and speed, and we're seeing one now, Jim.
And it's Hodja, and Byrne is out of position. He was the man that lost possession. Hodja running inside the box, and Stones again has defended it really well. He just didn't dive in or commit himself, stayed a respectful 2-3 feet away. And as Hodja elected across, Stones was able to divert it behind into the side netting of Henderson's goal. And out for a third Albania corner. Still 0-0.
Yeah, as I say, the counter-attack's certainly got to be guarded against. He'll make that point. Secondly, I think he'll say we need to be patient, but patient doesn't mean slow. It means keep moving the ball quickly, probe into central areas, but when it comes back out, you're going to have to use the width of our 2 wide centre halves. And can we feed the likes of Rice and Bellingham if they pull wide as well?
Thuram's made it 3-1 to France in Azerbaijan. 0-0 here. In comes the corner, and it's headed away easily by John Stones. Back outside the box. Coming back, Barami has exchanged passes really neatly with Ramadani. Aslani wearing 8, coming in off the left-hand touchline into the feet of the danger man Hodja, and then as it's clipped forward, it should be another corner. In fact, really well stopped by Bowen, and the ball then hits the corner flag and goes out of play for a throw, or no, his intervention came just after the ball had gone over the line, so it will be another corner. Albania's 4th, and it'll be taken on the left flank. This time Aslani walks away from it. And goes back, he will take it after all. They've got the opportunity to go short towards Larchi. Aslani puts his left arm above his head, swings it in again, headed away once more by Harry Kane. Back down towards the left-hand touchline. Aslani checks, stops the ball coming in. Kwanzaa can hook it over his own shoulder. Larchi just heads the way that he's facing back, and all the way back to Aliyi, who will go to Strakosha behind him, who's made one good save to deny Jared Bowen. Long ball driven forward by him, but easily chested down by Dan Byrne. Just plays between the lines for Eza. Eza to Bellingham. Bellingham coming forward inside the penalty area for Declan Rice, and Strakosha saves. Wouldn't have counted anyway because Rice was offside.
I've got to say, brilliant play there by Jude Bellingham. He sets out from his own half, went and pressed the centre half. He went on then to press the goalkeeper off of that, and it got him in a really good advanced position when England turned the ball over and counter-attacked.
And that third France goal has also been disallowed for handball, so they've scored 2 and had 2 disallowed for handballs. And they lead by 2-1. Ireland through to the playoffs, Portugal through. I think they became the 31st country to qualify out of the 48. Here's Jared Bowen on the right-hand touchline, dancing between 2 Albanian players quite brilliantly, getting it back from Harry Kane. Bowen slipping into his left-hand side for his erstwhile club teammate Declan Rice, who again has received the ball in an offside position. There's another free kick to Albania on the edge of their box. 90 seconds to go to the break. Still 0-0.
Yeah, I think we've just seen an indicator there of Declan Rice's new position. I bet he's never been offside twice in one game ever in his life.
Let alone in the space of about 2.5 minutes. But he does cover some ground.
Oh, he's incredible athlete, and him and Jude Bellingham are attempting to find these spaces to break the deadlock.
I know the games, by their very nature, will be different when we're playing in the summer, but you couldn't expect Declan to be able to get through this amount of work with this intensity in the hot meteorological conditions that we're going to see in North America.
No, you wouldn't think so, but listen, you know, every yard that he does, a defender's got to make the same distance to cover his run, and he does it a lot quicker than others.
So the last minute of the 45, there will be a little bit of time to be added on, but not much. We saw the injury to Husai, so maybe a couple of minutes. Albania are in possession with Aslani. It remains 0-0. Aslani angling one over the top. It's a beautiful ball out towards the far touchline for Balliu. O'Reilly was very quickly on the scene and forced a pass to be misdirected, and now England will break quickly with Ezra. He's got a challenge coming in from behind him, but he knew that Barami was there. Barami still able to come back and pick his pocket. Albania clear, but only as far as Wharton. Wharton to Kane into one added minute at the end of this first half. Kane down towards Bowen. Bowen for Stones. França made his way down the right-hand side, but the ball's gone back into the centre for Jude Bellingham. Bellingham controlling it neatly, running it away from Azuni. Getting it back again. Now forward into the feet of Wharton. Bellingham going down off the ball after a collision with Azuni. Still play goes on. O'Reilly back for Byrne. Thuram has now scored France's third. This time it counts. 3-1 they lead. 0-0 here. The last action of the first half. Bellingham towards the edge of the penalty area into a central area, twisting one way, then going the other. Nico O'Reilly back for Stones. Stones to Bowen, given away by him. Slam forward from the back, and the referee will signal the end of the first half. England with the lion's share of possession, not really creating too many chances. You can see why each of these two sides have such impeccable defensive records. They've only conceded 3 between them in 14 combined games. Chances at a premium, and at the break in Tirana, it's Albania 0, England 0.
Yeah, I understand what you're both saying about Declan Rice there, but it's bordering on being a football crime in being offside for that one with Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham had done well to press. He got himself onside from being miles offside, then received the ball, and then Declan Rice just should not be offside. That should end up being 1-0 to England. It's 0-0 at half-time. And let's focus, Stuart Pearce, on Jude Bellingham so far. 30 touches, 24 passes, 1 key pass, 87.5% passing accuracy. And as you highlighted, that press, the length of the field, basically, he's given his all for the cause, Jude Bellingham.
Yeah, I think him and Declan might be the ones, and Harry dropping deep and playing forward passes might be the ones that break this stalemate, to be fair. They've done quite well in some of the positions they found, but it's quite an intriguing game, actually. It's a game of chess at the moment. The Albanians are very dogged, very well organised, very compact centrally, and we've got to make sure that we find the right pass. If we do lose it, they've shown on a couple of occasions how aggressive they can be with their counter-attack surge. Yeah,
they are effectively playing a 5-5-0, but actually when they break, they get numbers forward. They are a threat to us, aren't they?
Yeah, they certainly are. It comes out into these wide areas, and they've got nothing on their mind apart from going to our goal from A to B as quickly as they possibly can, with pace on the ball, with passing ability, and technically they're very good, and also as well getting numbers there to support it quickly.
I think we've done okay without being too threatening in forward areas. Jared Bowen a little bit slow on the ball sometimes. Maybe that tempo, he could get it across in a little bit quicker, a little bit sharper, maybe.
What I would say is, because we're playing these 3 at the back, when Jared does receive it, he's got a 1-on-1 or a 2-on-1 not in his favour. That's what happens when you put one of your central defenders into midfield and build with a 3. You've not got a fullback coming up to distract and leave Bowen 1-on-1.
Very interesting. And what do they do about that then?
Well, what they've got to do is, as I said in the commentary, the three central defenders, the two wider of the three, have to stay as wide as they can on the build-up. So when we switch the ball or probe into midfield, get it back and then play it wide, they've got to go then, and John Stones drops into the centre-half position that he's accustomed to.
What do you make of Adam Wharton in midfield so far?
I think he's been steady. You know, he's got on the ball when he's had to. I'd like to see him a bit more aggressive to get on the ball. We don't want Dan Burns sitting on the ball for too long. What we want is it to go into a midfield player and that midfield player get turned. I'd like to see him do that a little bit more.
But overall, I don't think it's been too bad. Would you expect to see changes at half-time? Maybe later in the second half, but at half-time, would you?
No, I've quite enjoyed the game at the moment, and games like this, sometimes you've got to give credit to the opposition. I think the opposition have been very good and very dogged in what they've tried to achieve.
Albania, as we know, have got the playoff place. England have won the group and are there at the World Cup. One of the Albania players, possibly Aslani, trying to swap shirts with Jude Bellingham. The Stuart Pearce verdict on that, please, at half-time?
Well, every time Harry Kane or Bellingham have got the ball, because of the fear factor in the Albanian side, they've either jumped all over them or given a free kick away and stopped the attack. And you might say that's good play. It just shows the respect they've got for those two individuals.
So they've been trying to get his shirt all first half.
Indeed they
half-time
have.
They've actually asked for it politely. Can you do me a favour at half-time? Just check if the PA's working. So can't quite catch it. Stuart, thank you very much. 0-0, Albania 0, England 0, live on TalkSport. France 2-1 up, but they're finally being penalised for handballs, France. They've had 2 goals disallowed for it. Ireland can finally put that Thierry Henry handball behind them, maybe, because of what happened earlier today. The Republic of Ireland came from 1 down, then 2-1 down, to beat Hungary 3-2 in the 96th minute, and it's all thanks to a Troy Parrott hat-trick. He's the first Ireland player ever to score a hat-trick away from home. And what a time to do it. He's from Dublin's northern inner city. He'll never have to buy another drink in the Irish capital ever again. 2 against Portugal last week, 3 today. The result means they leapfrog the Hungarians into second place in the group and will compete in the playoffs in March to qualify for the World Cup. And their manager, Jaime Hallgrimsson, looked back on this incredible result.
Yeah, it was a strange game, really a strange game. We seemed to be nervous in the beginning. Struggling with their movements, defended them too late, not aggressive enough. Then we just, like we planned, we put in everything. We threw in 3 strikers in the end, and oh my God, these guys deserve what happened now. And congrats to the Irish nation to have these guys.
Well, that manager was under serious pressure. The last 2 games maybe even have saved his job. 13 hat-tricks in Ireland's history, all in Dublin, until Troy Parrott hit 3 to take Ireland to a World Cup playoff, and that game was in Budapest today. Congratulations to him and to Ireland. Good luck in the playoff as well. The former Ireland winger Stephen Hunt will be on The Breakfast Show tomorrow morning alongside Jeff Stelling and Ali McCoy from 6 a.m. And ahead of the Ashes, Kevin Peterson will be a guest on The Breakfast Show on Tuesday. France, by the way, half-time 3-1 up, an own goal, their third, away to Azerbaijan. Meanwhile, the latest episode of the TalkSport Daily podcast is available now as presenter Ollie Klink, former Arsenal winger Perry Groves, and South American football expert Tim Vickery take a look at the Premier League's Brazilian strikers. And the episode is available on all of the usual podcast platforms as well as the TalkSport app. Here in Tirana, it's Albania 0, England 0.
Initiate adrenaline pumps. Kick off live on TalkSport.
Thomas Tuchel was brought in with one thing in mind: to deliver the World Cup. His England side remain a work in progress, but they eye qualification perfection. Can they end the campaign by winning every game and conceding none? Declan Rice working it out towards the left-hand side, and this is promising from O'Reilly in towards Kane, played back through for the run of Rice. Strakosha off his line quickly, but it was a wonderful free-flowing move from England that very nearly got Declan Rice there. Now England will try and break quickly. Bellingham in towards Kane. Kane again being wrestled, has done well. Bellingham's got Bowen to his right-hand side. Slips him in now. Jared Bowen across the face of goal. Strakosha got a right arm to it to beat it away. In from the left-hand side from Wharton. Good header comes down, and Strakosha is able to dive to his left to make the save. I think it was Quamsa that got the contact, powering a header into the ground, but Strakosha can gratefully claim.
Yeah, 0-0 at half-time. The England subs out there warming up. May see some of them in the second half. There's a bunch of Albanian guys right in front of us smoking cigars. It's like a completely different world. Wouldn't have that in an English stadium. Just wouldn't be allowed. But no problem for them whatsoever. It's a problem for me, to be honest with you. I'm not happy about it. Anyway, Friday, Preston Blackburn, local derby. A Lancashire hot pot in the Championship. TalkSport 2 commentary, 8 o'clock kickoff. And then the Premier League is back on Saturday. And the TalkSport exclusive commentary coverage starting at 11 a.m. from Turf Moor as Burnley take on Chelsea. I'll take you around the grounds with Troy Deeney and Alan Pardew on Saturday afternoon on TalkSport. Game Day Live with Sam Matchface, Dean Ashton and Perry Groves on TalkSport on Sunday. And on Monday night, we've got another live exclusive Premier League commentary as Manchester United take on Everton. Jim Proudfoot had a trivia question. I think we've done all right on this, actually. Stuart Pearce, half-time. We've got a few names for us. 6 players who played in the 80s that weren't born in England, is that right?
Yeah, 6 players who played for England in the 1980s who weren't born in England.
OK, Stuart Pearce, who have you got? Because you played with them.
Well, we got John Barnes.
Yep.
Terry Butcher.
You mentioned one earlier today.
Tony DeRigo.
Yep.
So we got 3 there. I threw Gary Bailey in and I was so convinced, but Jim tells me he didn't go there till he was 3 years old.
He was born in Suffolk but brought up in South Africa. So you're close, but unlike those guys down there, no cigar.
And there's plenty of cigars down there.
I threw in one of my favourite players, Cyril Regis, who I think is correct, yeah?
That is correct. He was born in French Guyana.
OK. So we've got how many more?
So you've got Terry Butcher was born in Singapore. Cyril. You've got John Barnes was born in Jamaica. Tony DeRigo born in Australia. So you've got 2 more. So the clue I will give you, the 2 that you've got, the 2 that you haven't got, sorry, both played in the same position as each other. One of them was born in the same country as one of the ones you've already said.
Oh, blimey.
I'm not sure that's a clue. If I
don't even understand what he just said.
So one of them was born in... I've got to be really careful I don't give it away here. One of them was born in either Singapore, French Guyana, Jamaica or Australia.
Got to be Jamaica or Australia. Can't be French guy.
You're narrowing it down there. And they've got to have played in the 80s for England. OK. Yeah. So when will you give us the answer? About halfway through the second half?
Yeah, something like that, depending on what's going on in the game. But yeah, between sort of 65 and 70.
OK, we look forward to that. I'll keep my thinking cap on. First time England played in Albania, Stuart Pearce was in the team. In fact, Stuart Pearce went down very easily for a free kick that led to England's second goal in a 2-0 win. John Barnes and Brian Robson scored that day in Tirana. Is that an accusation that is fair, Stuart Pearce? Would you ever have gone down easy for a free kick?
If it benefited the team, the answer is yes.
I love your honesty. Absolutely love it. That first half, 0-0, but I thought there was a lot to hold the interest. England's XG against Albania, their lowest in the first half, though, under Thomas Tuchel. They've not had lower in any half of football since he took charge. Is that something to be concerned about, Jim Proudfoot?
Well, what I would say is this is the best team that they've played so far in a competitive international. By definition, Albania have finished second in the group, so they're better than Serbia. When England went to Serbia, Serbia were absolutely rotten. And Albania, this is, as we mentioned in the first half, an Albanian side that can lay claim to being the best their country have ever had. So I don't think it is unduly a cause for concern when you bear in mind Albania's creditable defensive record.
They are the 2 best teams in the group. England have won the group. Albania have got themselves a World Cup playoff as the subs leave the field, and the Albanians and the England players are all back on the field for the second half. It's Albania 0, England 0, live in Tirana on TalkSport. And here's your commentary team. Former England captain Stuart Pearce alongside TalkSport's England commentator Jim Proudfoot.
And there's no sign through the cigar smoke of any substitutions being made at half-time. England with Dean Henderson in goal, Kwanzaa, Stones, Byrne and O'Reilly, but Stones pushing forward to play alongside Wharton in midfield, Bowen, Bellingham, Rice and Eza, and then Kane I'll give you the Albanian side in a moment. They also haven't made any further changes. They lost Husai to injury in the first half. England in all white, kicking from right to left. So that's away from the England supporters in the right-hand half of the stand away to our right. And Dan Burn can bring the ball forward now with Nico O'Reilly to his left-hand side. O'Reilly with the heavily tattooed arms, just bring the ball under control, lays it back again towards Dan Burn. And Burn going straight through the heart of midfield to find John Stones. Now Bowen's got it. Bowen, who had some lively moments in that first 45 minutes and his first competitive start since June last year. Ball chipped inside the penalty area, is headed away by Jim Shitty and then further cleared. One back well by Quansah. They'll go out towards the far touchline and Albania can get their foot on the ball. Wharton is in there. It's all a little bit frenetic. Good ball though from Bowen. Rice poking it on. Seemed to get caught, but having just poked the ball away from Ismaili, maybe the Albanian defender didn't really have anywhere to go. Declan Rice is back on his field, just feeling his back on his feet. Just feeling his rib cage and rotating his right arm to make sure his shoulder's okay, and play will continue. Albania have it again with Ramadani. Forward towards halfway for Azuni. And on the right-hand side, Barami. Always an air of expectation when they can get the bodies forward quickly. Here's the substitute, Baliu, getting in inside the 6-yard box, but a little flick from Laci was very easily saved at the near post by Dean Henderson. You would talk sport, played a couple of minutes of the second half, and it is still 0-0.
Yeah, really unfortunate. Just then, brilliant play by Bowen, who got turned, played it into Declan Rice, who just overhit it. The challenge comes slightly later. Decent opportunity, but once again the Albanians broke very quickly, and a little back heel went straight into Henderson's grateful clutch.
The hosts in the dark red shirts and black shorts have Strakosha in goal, Baliu the substitute at right back, Ismaili and Jim City, and then Ali making up the back four. Barami, Ramadani, Laci, Aslani and Hodger in midfield, and Azuni up front. Quansah continues his run inside the penalty area as Bowen tries to just flick the ball back into his path. He can't do that, and then Bowen ends up deflecting a clearance out of play for an Albanian throw. Yeah,
so far this half, Jim, I don't know whether you noticed, the fullbacks are playing in their sort of relative positions, pushing as high as they possibly can, and Stones and Byrne have sat back and played almost a traditional centre-half role without Stones going into midfield. Whether Tuchel's had a look at that and thought, you know what, it's not causing them as many problems as we'd have hoped.
You were talking about it before the game, and you certainly felt that it was at best an experiment worth looking at, but not something that you necessarily thought was the future.
It didn't excite me, to be honest with you. You do it for a reason, and if that reason isn't good enough because you're not putting the opposition under too much threat, then I think it probably suited the Albanians. They said, right, we're going to defend very narrow and let you go wide, because we stripped away our fullbacks in those wide areas and tucked them in slightly. I think it played into their hands.
Baliu sends the ball down the right-hand touchline, deflects off Ezra right in front of Silvino. Now for a throw that'll be taken on the Albanian right-hand side. Albania's last home defeat came a year ago this week against Ukraine. England coming into this have won 6 in a row away from home. 11 unbeaten away from home since a defeat in the Nations League to Italy back in 2022. Albania coming forward, coming in off the left flank, letting fly, and Henderson not taking any chances. It's a shot that might have been going wide, but he got his left palm to it and was able to tip it around the post. It was very well struck by Ramadani, and Albania get a corner.
Well, how this game's going at the moment, if Tuchel thought he was going to make a couple of substitutions to key players, i.e. Kane and Rice, I think he'll think again. He'll want this game won before he does that.
Come out of that point in a moment as Albania, with their first corner of the second half, work it short. Baliu back out for Aslani. Had time to measure the cross. O'Reilly quickly on the scene. Aslani checked back inside and sent the ball inside the penalty area. It was easily cleared. Does he look at the bigger picture and say it doesn't matter really to have a 100% record and to maintain this excellent defensive streak today. I would rather see certain questions being answered in specific areas of the field, or, notwithstanding the fact that it's a dead rubber, is he still all in for the result here?
I think he'll want the result personally. I think he'll want to win the game before he makes potential changes of personnel.
England have lost it again, and Barami can come forward, and he's got options either side of him. He's playing inside the area. Henderson able to make the save from Hodger. What a chance! Rolled through the penalty area. Azuni let it go, and Hodger coming in unmarked at the back post. He's 15 yards out. He siphoned it towards goal, and Henderson came down and made the save to protect England's perfect defensive record in this qualification group. But they should have scored.
To paint the picture, it was akin to Ezra's goal a couple of days ago at Wembley. The ball's come across, he's come in from the angle, and he just didn't get the ball set out wide enough to bring it into far post, and it went straight down the barrel of Henderson, that was pleased to see it into his grasp. But once again, I'd ask the question, what would Tuchel be saying to his team at half-time? Number one point is be mindful of the counter-attack, and that was probably their best option.
It is their MO. It has been for a while under Silvino. Not seeing anything necessarily from the Albanians tonight that we wouldn't have anticipated. Hodger was so disappointed that he didn't take that chance.
Yeah, I was really disappointed with the Albanians at Wembley, which I said to you beforehand, but I've got to say tonight I've been very impressed with them, and they'll be a real threat in the playoffs, won't they, by the looks of things?
Yeah. Hodges won a free kick here as Serbia equalising the other game in this group against Latvia with a goal from Katai. So Serbia won, Latvia won. And if Serbia win that game and Albania were to lose this one, then there'd be just a point between second and third at the end of the campaign. And Serbia now mathematically out. They can't qualify for the playoffs through the Nations League safety net. Sweden have got one of those places, Romania another, Northern Ireland a third, and then it will be someone from Wales's group, either Wales or North Macedonia. Whoever finishes third in that group will get the other Nations League wildcard playoff place. Dan Burn able to bring it forward. Also in the playoffs, the likes of Italy, Albania, and now Ireland, after their extraordinary come-from-behind win in Hungary earlier today. Baliu plays the ball back towards Ismaili. Ismaili not too far outside his own penalty area, rolling it into the feet of Aslani. And then getting it back. Rice putting the pressure on the goalkeeper. Strakosha can clear. He only made a handful of appearances in his time at Brentford, just one Premier League start there. But he's been Albania's first choice keeper for a while. He's not too far short of 50 caps. Stones has got possession and he's coming forward for England and just tiptoeing into Albanian territory. Nico O'Reilly now. Here's Declan Rice. And with this slight change of emphasis and the way that England are playing and building from the back, and that Stones isn't going, it does allow O'Reilly to make the odd occasional diagonal run forward into midfield. But here's Kwanzaa in a more orthodox right back position, making his way down the right-hand side of the penalty area, but losing possession. Across comes Stones with a firm block challenge. Walton is there to link up the play. Bellingham gets the shout to turn in the midfield. Plays it down towards Eza. Still 0-0 here in Tirana on TalkSport. Eza just venturing back out of the left-hand touchline. Back from him to O'Reilly. Stones clipping it forward. Here's Eza again, controlling it on his chest. Right-footed ball clipped in. Kane was waiting, was knocked away. Comes back out for Bowen, who's forced to flick it up with his left foot and his right foot. And then the referee said that he used his hand as well. So it's a free kick to Albania inside their own box. Still 0-0.
Yeah, both hands went up in the box from both sets of players. I thought there was an Albanian hand on the ball there, but Jared Bowen's body language suggested it was him that got the touch on it. And I think we're suffering a little bit by not having really out and out, certainly at the right back position with Kwanzaa, fullbacks that are happy to surge forward, get crosses in, whip it in the box. type of individuals. That would free up the likes of Eza and Bowen to give them a bit more room.
England unbeaten in their last 38 World Cup qualifiers, which is a run, unsurprisingly, the best in continental football at the moment. It goes back to 2009. They've won 30 and drawn 8 of those 38 games. They have scored in each of their last 19 internationals since they failed to score against Slovenia in the Euros. But is that run potentially going to come to an end? 11 minutes into the second half here at the Air Albania Stadium, and it remains goalless between the top two in the group. Declan Rice down towards Nico O'Reilly. O'Reilly controlling the ball, goes back to Dan Burn. Now it's worked back towards John Stones in the midfield. Next Premier League action coming your way next Saturday. And game day exclusive comes from Turf Moor. Burnley against Chelsea, with the build-up starting at 11. Stewart alongside Sam Matterface for the call. Faith of others presenting, and that's next Saturday here on TalkSport. Ball played in here for Eza. Good save, Strakosha. Near post, got a right hand to it, tipped it away. Every Albanian appealing for an offside flag that didn't come. Bellingham did really well to find him. Beautiful ball, curved forward. Eza judged to have been onside, took a touch, rifled it towards the near post, and Strakosha beat it away.
Top quality ball there by Jude Bellingham, really was. He found Eza, who's made a little diagonal inside run. His first touch was brilliant to pull it out the air, and then I think he's trying to open his body to fade it in the far corner, and was just slightly off balance, ended up pulling it towards the near post.
Wharton to take this first England corner of the second half. It's gone short for Eza, gets it back. Wharton clipping it in the outside of the boot. Bellingham trying to improvise. He just got the back of his head to it, but that was his intention. Strakosha can make the save, gets it upfield as quickly as he can, and they've got Barame isolated against O'Reilly. O'Reilly's defended him really well, and with the aid of Eza coming back, England have actually regained possession with Bellingham, who got his foot on the ball, and Larchi fouled him. And it's a free kick to England that they wanted to take quickly, and Kane's complaining that he wasn't allowed to do so, but Bellingham is still down holding his face as he's lying on the touchline.
Yeah, I think he got rattled across his chest there, Jude Bellingham. A collision between both players, no intent there at all in any way, shape or form, but for a moment there I thought England were in trouble, left one-on-one, but O'Reilly's pace got him out of trouble.
And Eza covered a lot of ground pretty quickly as well. Indeed. To come back and double up. So 12 minutes into the second half here on TalkSport, it remains 0-0. The most significant moment of the night still lies ahead of us, you would think. Wharton to Burn, back for Stones, now towards Kane. Albania with the best chance of this game. Some 4 or 5 minutes ago with Odja inside the penalty area, a shot that was easily saved by Dean Henderson. Burn. Now O'Reilly's got it. It's going up to the point where Thomas Tuchel might be contemplating making a few changes to try and shake things up. Stones has done well to work the ball out towards Bellingham. Right-footed ball comes inside the penalty area. That one blocked. Quansah chases. But again, Albania can bring it away with Aslani. And Quansah's gone down off the ball, holding his face. I must confess to you, I didn't see what put him there.
No. I'm not sure which one of the Albanian players was just sprinting away from him, and I think just the natural motion of his arms might have caught Quansah in the face. Nothing intentional, and I'm very surprised the referee's blown this up.
Just let me see the replay.
Just pushed him away, and he just tried to keep him away from himself. I've just been told by Declan alongside me, he's just gone down to have a word with the fourth official to say don't play too much overtime at the end of the game, because we're dying a slow death of passive smoking up here. It really is ridiculous, the amount of smoke in the air.
He's the longest cigar I've ever seen in my life, by the way. I think he probably started at the beginning of the qualification campaign. In comes this free kick from Declan Rice. Dan Burn going up for his hit his head, and a scooped right-footed volley from Bellingham goes just over the bar. Bounced twice on the top of the net. And that's as close as England have come. It stays 0-0. We played an hour.
Yeah, for all the good football you can play, sometimes putting the ball in the box. Dan Burn's done really well to keep it alive, and Bellingham just falling off balance slightly, just couldn't control the effort.
So what do you want to see in terms of changes? Jordan Henderson is out there warming up. There's anybody specifically that you're looking at thinking, I'd like to see 20 minutes from them? I would like such and such a person to come on just to add a little bit more of an attacking dimension. Do you think the situation is such that Alex Scott should be given his debut?
It's one of these. I'd want to win the game if I'm Thomas Tuchel, so I'm loath in some ways to make too many changes if I thought I would have to take the likes of Rice or Kane off the pitch. I would fully expect that Foden might come on. Now, if it's a like-for-like scenario, it's going to be Bellingham that comes off, unless Harry Kane comes off, and they work that double act between Bellingham and Foden again. They might want to look at that, Jim. Aside from that, don't see the necessity, unless you're saving the legs of Declan Rice, of bringing the likes of Jordan Henderson on, to be honest with you. You're making changes for change's sake.
John Stones has just had a heavy fall. He's going to be okay. He's going to be able to continue. Last reading of the trivia question, then, before I give you the answer in about 5-6 minutes. We're talking about the 6 players that played for England in the 1980s who weren't born in England. The boys got 4 of them at half-time. England are going to be making their their first change, I beg your pardon. And Declan Rice is coming off, and Phil Foden's going to come in to replace him.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do with that mix now in midfield, whether Bellingham's going to drop back and do the Declan Rice role and allow Foden to play further up. Bowen looks as though he's coming off for Saka as well, or Eza.
Yeah,
no, change of wings. Bowen's coming to play on the left.
You called the first one perfectly, and Saka, who played the full 90 minutes the other night, has come on here. Jarrod Bowen has swapped flanks, so he's come out of the left. Saka's gone over to his favoured right. Bukayo Saka is on for his 48th England cap. He's scored 2 in his last 3. Stones is all right after that heavy fall, so the double change has seen Rice and Eza go off. They've been replaced by Foden and Saka. His first 2 changes made with just over an hour having elapsed. It's 0-0. And the dangerous Hodge will make his way forward again. And he's almost able to slip his man in. It was an excellent run from Azuni ahead of him, and Dan Burn just managed to get in the way. The ball cannon off the back of the big Geordie's heels and away from Azuni. And England will be able to smuggle it further clear and end up winning a throw. 63 goalless minutes behind us. You certainly couldn't bet on it ending 0-0. It may well be that whoever scores first wins it. It does have the feel of being one of those kinds of games at the moment. Albania hoping to celebrate with one of the most notable victories in their history, in their 400th international. Here's Ismaili. Ball played down towards Ballieu, their substitute right back, who knocks it straight into Bowen. His new direct opponent on this near touchline goes out of play for a throw that Albania will take, and that they're not in any great hurry to take it. Ballieu retrieving the ball and sending the throw back towards Ismaili. Ismaili, another player who's played international football for Kosovo as well. Strakosha with a clearance. It's a really poor one. It's seized upon here by Kwanzaa. Foden will take the ball on the turn. Ever energetic, just takes it, shows it to Ramadani in the midfield and flicks it off. Bellingham then knocking it forward. A chance for Kwanzaa, turn around the corner. Saka! And Strakosha makes the save. Should have scored with his first touch of the night.
We've had probably about 3 or 4 chances for both teams at the moment that they've looked to open the goal up and just got their finishes caught under their feet, or not set it out wide enough to fade it into the far corner, and the goalkeepers have been grateful at both ends.
Chalobah and Scott both out warming up in front of us as well now, as England give another free kick away. O'Reilly actually poked the ball away. The Albanians take the free kick but still have one of their number down hurt. So Marco Guida, the referee, stops play. As soon as he's back on his feet, and the free kick will be retaken. 65 gone. Albania 0, England 0 here on TalkSport. England still in a position at the moment to preserve their long streak without conceding a goal, which, as we stand right now, is at 879 minutes since they last conceded a competitive goal, which came against Finland. But is the winning streak and the scoring streak going to come to an end tonight? O'Reilly winning a throw on the England left-hand side. He's spinning the ball in the palm of his right hand before preparing to launch it infield. He finds Foden. O'Reilly gets it back. Back he goes out towards Dan Burn. A really heavy touch from him, and he's lost possession. She's gone over the touchline and out for an Albanian throw. Balia, the substitute, will come forward to take it. Will they be able to create one more opportunity as good as the one that Hodger missed? Dries the ball, the white ball on his red shirt, takes the throw. Down he comes on the right-hand side of the box for a cross that is driven in quickly by Barami and caught by Dean Henderson, who's hoping tonight will bring in his first clean sheet in an England shirt. He's just bowled it out for John Stones, and Stones can bring it forward again. We're midway through the second half, Stu.
Yeah, Henderson's been quite comfortable in his work today. He's been steady with his hands. Distribution's been okay, and he's not been tested with anything that's really he's had to sort of be at full stretch on.
Now Bellingham's giving it away to Hodger, and he's going to have to scamper after it to try and stop him. Forces Hodger wide, outside the penalty area still. It's just a loose ball through the midfield. Hodger's turned him brilliantly. Now he's inside the penalty area, gets it across. Vital defensive header at the near post. Comes out for Barami, and he's hitch-kicked it over the bar.
I tell you what, Hodger has been the standout player, I think, of the game so far. Every time he gets it, he's direct, he's quick, he makes ground very quickly, he asks questions of defenders, and obviously his teammates not attuned in as well with him as they should be.
67 gone 0-0. Burn. Cross towards Stones. John Stones bringing it forward. Wharton drops off to open up one passing avenue. Stones, as a result of that, could just take it on a touch, but had traffic all around, and then Dean Henderson has read the situation brilliantly. Stones' ball out was really poor. Dean Henderson came out, made the tackle, 15 outside the penalty area. Little bit of the man taken, but the ball, the referee indicating that he did take the ball. The Albanian player still lying down. It's Zuni just on the edge of the D. The play's allowed to go on. And John Stones' heart was in his mouth there, because that was a really, really poor pass. Wharton, Foden from distance, blocked by Baliu. One back by Saka. Comes back out for Kwanzaa. Lachi's back on his feet now. The England player goes down on the edge of the penalty area. It's Kwanzaa. It's just a collision. Referee waves him up. Bellingham's got it. Bellingham back for Wharton. Back out for Jude Bellingham again. Kwanzaa yarding from the right-hand touchline. Delivers a cross. It's deflected away. Touch back in from O'Reilly. Saka comes onto it. Couldn't knock it square for Kane. Why didn't he shoot? Sensational touch from O'Reilly to play him in, but why didn't he shoot? Lachi now down towards the right-hand side for Baliu. And Baliu will be able to bring it forward. O'Reilly coming out, getting there ahead of Barami. And this time a free kick has been given for a foul by O'Reilly on Baliu. He's 2 yards in for the right-hand touchline, and the boos and whistles continued for a good minute or so after Lachi went down just on the edge of the area after that tackle from Henderson.
Yeah, in answer to your question, why didn't he shoot? He did. He just got the shot horribly wrong. It was so bad it went sideways. I'm convinced where he was literally goalkeeper to beat 6 yards out, and I think he's tried to shoot and just got his shot ridiculously wrong, and it ended up looking like a pass to Kane.
Well, still, there are several complaints from the Albanians that the free kick wasn't given outside the box. Dean Henderson gets that wrong. It is a red card.
I mean, you've got to give Henderson credit. He's come out and made an incredible slide tackle, won the ball. Obviously, the Albanian player made the most of it, rolled around a great deal, attempted to get Henderson sent off, which infuriated the crowd.
Well, the Albanians have another player down, injured. So let's mop up the trivia question for you. The 6 England internationals from the 1980s who weren't born in England. And you've already had Terry Butcher, Cyril Regis, John Barnes and Tony DeRiga. Let me add Luther Blissett and Brian Steen, who was born in South Africa. So those are the 6. Congratulations if you got all 6 right. Well done. So Albania have got Ali back on his feet, and he's going out towards the far touch. He's going to be able to continue the left back after receiving treatment. There's a real feisty edge to this game now as the ball is worked inside the box. Kane can knock it away. Down towards Wharton. Wharton got caught as he was bringing it out, and that's a free kick to England. 19 minutes to go. Both sides reckon they can win this.
Yeah, they certainly do. There's been chances at both ends, no doubt about that, and probably the 2 best chances of the game have fallen to Saka since he's come on the pitch. The last one was a gilt-edged opportunity. Be interesting to watch that again. And just prior to that, an effort that he didn't really get any purchase on it.
Here's John Stones for England, bringing the ball through the centre circle. Space on the left for O'Reilly, and what an exquisite touch it was from O'Reilly. It was a little backheel volley flick that created the chance for Saka, which he should have taken. And just showing O'Reilly's skill and invention in a very tight corridor on the edge of the opposition penalty area. He's another that has taken to international football quite beautifully. He's beaten 4 players in this particular run before losing out to Bahrami. And Albania, having turned over possession, will look to get it forward quickly, but it was a really poor pass from Aslani. And it just goes straight through for Dean Henderson. Still 0-0, but the game's opening up with 18 to go.
It is. It's a game as though both teams feel as though they've got to win it. You wouldn't suspect there's not a great deal on it in relation to the league table and qualification, but both teams look as though they want to win this game for pride, if nothing else.
Foden to Burn. Burn back for Stones. Stones again, right-footed ball clipped over the top. It's an excellent run down the right-hand side of the penalty area that was tracked every step of the way. Bellingham seeing Jim Shitty get there first, but he's put it out of play for an England corner, which is their 2nd of the second half and their 5th of the game. More changes are imminent, and we're going to see Elliot Anderson coming on, and we're going to see Marcus Rashford accompanying him onto the pitch as well in a moment after this corner. Corner that'll be taken over on the England right-hand side. There's no Rice to fire these set pieces in now, so Saka takes the responsibility, and he's got Bowen on the edge of the 6. There are another 4 England players, Bellingham, Kane, Stones and Burn, all around the penalty spot. 4 of them, there's only 3 Albanians watching them.
To be fair, it surprised me we've not had more threat from these corners.
So Stones is a free man here if they can get the ball into him inside the penalty area. He makes his way in towards the near post. He's flicked on and turned over the line by Kane. He scores against Albania yet again. And England lead by a goal to 0. Harry Kane from the closest of close ranges. And that could be the goal that makes it a perfect qualification group for England. Played 8-1-8, conceded none. It's now on the cards.
Yeah, just bemoaning the lack of quality or final contact from corners, and on that occasion an in-swinger certainly has caused problems, and it's that man again, Harry Kane. That's why you don't want to take him off the pitch. And I think he's going off the pitch now, actually.
Right, he'll leave. Job done. His 7th goal in the qualification campaign, his 8th in 9 games under Tuchel, his 77th goal for England.
No, I don't think he will be going off, actually. It's Jared Bowen who's coming off for Rashford.
So Rashford for Bowen. And Anderson for Wharton is the other change that is being made. And Albania are going to be making a change as well. We're going to see a native of Slough, Armando Broja, coming on. Broja, who tends to play off the wing for Albania rather than through the middle. He's coming on for Bayrami, so it looks as though it'll be the same again, and he will probably take Bayrami's position on the right flank. 15 to go, Albania 0, England 1, thanks to Harry Kane.
Is there a quiz how many Albanians were born outside Albania? So I think I've got one.
Is it Armando Broja?
No.
Yes. So Broja is on. Always a fixture that clearly will mean a great deal for him. It's his 33rd cap for his country. He did make a handful of appearances under Thomas Tuchel at Chelsea, 5 of them in all. Playing his club football for Burnley. England with Anderson very quickly involved in the action. Won it back in the midfield, then worked the ball into the feet of Kane, and now it comes back again. The attendance is a shade under 21,500, but that's a full house here at the Air Albania Stadium. Stones to bring it forward towards the edge of the centre circle. Stones playing it back for Quansah. England now 14 minutes away from what will be an 11th successive win in competitive internationals. That's something they have never done before in their history. Also a 10th successive win to nil in a competitive international. That's something only one European side has ever done before, which was the Spain team 10 years ago. Rashford twisting and turning, gets the ball through the penalty area. It's bounced just in front of Saka, straight out of play for a throw. 13 to go, Stuart, and England leading courtesy of Harry Kane.
Yeah, it's been that level of patience that we needed. I think it's been a good game, to be fair. Both teams have been fully at it. Can't certainly look at this game and think it's been a dead rubber.
Kane in for Saka. It could be 2-0. He just couldn't quite flick it back towards Foden. It was really well cleared by Ismaili. Excellent defending on the edge of the 6-yard box. England with a little bit more potency now. Wouldn't have they had here nearly 25 years ago? That was 0-0 going into the final 20 minutes, and England ended up winning it by 3-1. There's going to be another flurry of late scoring today. Saka, Foden. Now towards Quansah. Nico O'Reilly darts into a central midfield area to show for the ball. Rashford's in plenty of space out on the left if England can switch it. Anderson looks up, goes for Kane instead. Kane working forward towards Foden. It's taken a deflection. Rashford will scamper after that. And can't shepherd it over the line and out of play for a corner. And again, good covering defending from Azuni. The ball is out for a throw that will be taken on the England left by Nico O'Reilly. O'Reilly with the ball in his hand. Foden making a darting run, flicking it back beautifully for Kane. Kane for Stones. Stones into the feet of Anderson. Now back towards Quansah. Quansah just for a moment had the way back to goal cut out for him. But he can find Anderson. Anderson back for Dean Henderson. Dean Henderson's contribution coming out and flicking the ball away, and that slide challenge from Hodger is looking even more important now. 1-0 to England. Stones over on the far touchline, taking it out towards the right hand side. Something thrown from the crowd actually at John Stones as he went over towards that far side. It missed him. I don't think he's even realised that anything was aimed in his direction. Play with England in the midfield, just composing themselves and making sure that they dominate possession now to prevent any opportunities of an Albanian counter-attack, which has consistently been their most potent weapon through the course of the night. Saka back to Bellingham. Saka then continuing a run down the inside right channel, but the ball laid back for Anderson. Quansah nearly caught in possession. He has been by Broja. Bellingham actually caught in possession by Armando Broja. Bellingham then stumbles and kicks out of Broja to bring him down. That'll be a yellow card. Referee had nowhere to go with that. That was cynical. And Bellingham is booked.
Yeah, just give away a possession then, and Broja's not one that you want to give the ball away to. Got good pace, good strength, and leading the counter-attack. And Bellingham obviously, poor challenge, pulled him down, the yellow card. Just give Albania a slight lift there. They'd gone a little bit flat after the goal, and I think we've just given them a touch of a lift.
It was an interesting debate that Thomas Tuchel was having in his press conference yesterday, talking about the fact that the most important thing from an England perspective tonight is that no one gets a red card.
Yeah, Bellingham's coming off now, I can assure you.
Yeah.
They've sprung up off the bench and called Morgan Rogers down, and he'll be the one coming off. They can't afford a red card here.
Yeah, Wharton, the only other England player booked tonight, has also already come off. In comes the delivery, and Henderson can watch it over the bar. It was a good ball in from Aslani, and Jim Shitty, the big centre-half, came round the back, got his head to it, but it looped up off him. It even hit his shoulder. Henderson had to just scamper back a couple of feet, but there was never any danger that was going to drop under the bar. Goes out of play for a goal kick. England are 9 minutes away from a 10th successive win to nil in a competitive international.
Yeah, Jim Shitty there just lost his footing and went to ground and couldn't get above the ball to guide it where he needed.
England trying to bring the ball away again. Bellingham has gone down over on that far touch line. Throws up his hand in frustration. Tried to get his message across to the referee. But Morgan Rogers is ready, and if it's not the number 10 that comes up on the board in a few moments' time when the next ball goes out of play, I will be amazed. And Rogers for Bellingham incoming, I think, as Dan Burn on the edge of his box finds Foden. Foden down towards O'Reilly. Foden helping it forward again. Looking for Rashford, couldn't find him. Baliu giving it straight back for O'Reilly. O'Reilly to Jude Bellingham in the midfield, who had time to take a touch and look up, and sends an excellent ball out towards Jarrod Quansah. Quansah now towards Bellingham.
Yeah, just when the ball received there by Quansah, you can tell he's not a natural fullback, because receiving it there, you've just got to surge on and attack.
Kane, 2-0. Great ball in from Rashford. Harry Kane came to meet it, sends a header past Strakosha, and that'll be job done. They've left it late, but they've got it done. 2 goals from Harry Kane, and England are making history. 2-0.
Yeah, brilliant ball in there by Rashford. Whipped in swing, just whipped it in there, left it in the far side of the 6-yard box, and you knew when the defender got under it, Harry Kane was there just to head it back where it come from to finish the game. And just point being made there on Quansah. He's just had a couple of situations where, as a natural fullback, would have been surging onto the ball. He's just slowed the attack down and played it too safe and sideways, but on that occasion it paid dividends.
Well, Thomas Tuchel just being asked by the fourth official whether he still wants to make the change in the aftermath of the goal. I think he's answered in the affirmative. And Rogers stands hands on hips, waiting for the signal to come on and win what will be his 12th cap. And in fact that change is going to be made. So Rogers for Bellingham. Bellingham's head just drops a little as he makes his way off. What have you made of his performance over 83 minutes tonight?
Yeah, I think he's been pretty steady. It's been tough for him. Obviously the Albanians have dropped back into a very deep press, and there's not been a lot of room for him, but he certainly played his part in this victory, and it's been a hard-fought victory here today, but I think they've done well enough, and some good seeds have been sown again.
Albania making a change as well. Laci coming off, and Adrian Pajaziti, the one-time Fulham player, is going to come on to replace him for just his 5th international appearance. So it's a straight swap in midfield. 5 to go. Albania 0, England 2, with Kane scoring on 74 and 82, and to take his record now to 25 goals in 22 career World Cup qualifiers. And England can turn in the midfield, and Rogers with the fresh legs is going to be able to drive here at Ramadani. Ball played out towards Bukayo Saka. Foden. Rashford in space on the England left. O'Reilly picking up the ball in the midfield, goes back for Dan Burn. Now forward for Anderson. Anderson to Rogers. Rogers, Foden taking a touch. Didn't hit it first time. Maybe he should have done. He's brought it back for Marcus Rashford. Rashford's inside the penalty area. Foden is there with him. Goes back for Nico O'Reilly. O'Reilly behind square for Anderson. Anderson, it's all very congested ahead of him, and he hit a brisk ball forward towards Saka. That's gone out of play. It was another excellent England move, and Foden will be frustrated that he didn't pull the trigger.
Well, some super play there. Anderson's ball through the lines into Rodgers. Rodgers got turned. The ball's arrived at Foden's feet. He's got to take that first time. I'm going to say it, and I said it at Wembley the other day. That's probably why you don't score as many goals as you should be scoring. You've got to know you've got to take that first time, albeit on his weaker form. Yeah,
if he doesn't score tonight, it will be 20 without a goal for England for Phil Foden since he netted against Scotland back in September 2023. So Kane makes his way forward here, but Strakosha can clear. A big goal in Warsaw. Ukraine have thrown themselves a lifeline. They lead Iceland 1-0. Zubkov, 7 minutes from time, and that will put Ukraine in the playoffs if they hold on. If Iceland can equalise, they will go through to the playoffs from Group D at Ukraine's expense. But at the moment, Ukraine lead by a goal to nil, and they will finish 3 points ahead of Iceland in second spot and take one of the playoff positions, so they could be one of the potential opponents of Albania. They're already in the playoffs with a game to spare as they look for their first ever World Cup. Here's Kane, 10 yards inside his own half, plays it forward towards Saka. Could have had a couple of goals tonight. Dan Burn bringing the ball forward, gets to halfway, into the feet of Foden. Foden to Stones. Stones now to Elliot Anderson in the midfield. Anderson wearing 21. Getting forward again for Foden. Foden to the right for Kwanzaa. Getting it back and arcing a long ball down towards the left-hand side. Rashford able to control it. Tries to sell a dummy to the fullback Balius. Work the ball square infield towards O'Reilly. Rashford getting again back out on the touchline. Lays it back for Foden. England making a good job of maintaining possession. They lead 2-0. Don't forget, from 7:30 tonight, your reaction here on TalkSport is majestic, and Alan Pardew will open up the final word to give you your chance to have your say. And Faker Others, our England correspondent, will be in the tunnel to bring you all the live reaction with Thomas Tuchel and the big names, so don't go anywhere after we're done. It's 08717 223344. That's the number to call for the final word. What have you made of England tonight? What have you made of the qualification campaign as a whole, which, as things stand, is played 8, won 8, scored 22, conceded none. Rashford on the left-hand side of the midfield into the feet of Harry Kane. We'll have our say as well on the TalkSport Daily podcast, live from Tirana, with Stuart Pearce and Adrian Durham alongside myself, just chewing the fat on the back of this England performance as well. That'll be available for you at your usual podcast provider tomorrow morning. O'Reilly into the feet of Kane, but couldn't get himself into a position to try and unload for his hat-trick. He's already scored one international hat-trick against Albania in his career, looking for another. Albania can play their way out from the back this time, though, with Ramadani. Ramadani to the left-hand side of midfield. Breuer was waiting. Byrne was there first and got it away from the Burnley man. But Ziti's going to be able to pick it up now on the Albanian left. He will try and turn on halfway. They've done really well. Albania did work the ball upfield. Excellent ball retention. Now Breuer set up against Dan Burn again. Anderson comes back, puts the challenge in, wins it cleanly, and now is going to be able to bring it away. The play will stop because Breuer has gone down hurt, and the referee just wants to make sure he's all right because he's down holding his head. Full-time fast approaching. England leading by 2-0 here in Tirana.
Yeah, I don't think Breuer actually got caught there. He's just gone down. He's holding his right ankle. I just think he's rolled his ankle, and the players seem to know that there was a bit of a problem there straight away. But I think when you look at England, I think credit goes to the Albanians. I think they've been very dogged, well organised, especially first half. But over the 90 minutes, England have scored 2 and created probably 2 or 3 really good chances to have extended their lead, and that's what you've got to do, whilst patience was totally key in this game, and they played out, and eventually, when you look at the opportunities, I think we've probably created enough.
Harry Kane doing what he does, taking his chances well. One from very close range, and then another, a delicious ball in from Rashford that he just had to get his head to cleanly to be able to power it past Strakosha.
And when you consider the 2 chances that Saka had, probably better chances. that he failed to score, and Brozier's tried to get up there and he's gone straight back down. He's rolled his ankle and caused a problem, and he's gone down. They've called for the stretcher now, and he won't be carrying on in this game. It looked quite bad, as I say, when play stops, when no one's too near you and it's not a foul, there is a problem.
So 5 minutes of added time have been prescribed, but those 5 will only start when play is able to resume. This clearly with significant ramifications for Burnley, more so than Albania. Albania not in action until March, but depending on the severity of this, 4 months away, you never know. Never good to see players stretch it off the field, and they've just got to be very careful with him as they make sure that he is as comfortable as possible as he leaves the field. Next live football for you here on the TalkSport network on Friday from the Championship. Lancashire derby between Preston and Blackburn, which kicks off at 8 o'clock on TalkSport 2 Friday night. Then Saturday, live Premier League action from Turf Moor, Burnley, Chelsea and Broyers Club in action against his old one. And Stuart alongside Sam Matterface for that. 11 o'clock the build-up starts, game day exclusive at 12:30 kickoff. A live Championship action for you on Saturday on TalkSport 2. Coventry West Brom, followed by Leicester Stoke, and then Sunday lunchtime the Steel City derby, Wednesday and United, whose major positive this season has been the form of the other one. It's a high noon kickoff Sunday lunchtime at Hillsborough for Sheffield Wednesday against Sheffield United on Sunday. Monday night, more live Premier League action for you, Manchester United against Everton. Danny Murphy, part of your commentary team, Monday evening here on TalkSport. It's a week tomorrow. So Broyer being helped away, and 5 minutes of added time will now start with England in possession on halfway, and with Jarrod Quansah. Back it goes from him through the centre circle for Stones. Foden, O'Reilly, Byrne. Forward again into the feet of Morgan Rogers. England now at more than 15 hours since they last conceded a goal in a competitive international, a run of 10 games. Rashford. Play back towards Elliot Anderson again. Anderson to John Stones. England just string the passes together. A few Olays coming out from away to our right-hand side. Foden taking it on, a little injection of tempo from him. Sprays the ball wide towards Marcus Rashford. Rashford back towards Foden, making a darting run down the left-hand side of the 6-yard box. Comes back outside the penalty area in possession and feeds Marcus Rashford again. Rashford coming away from the edge of the penalty area. Anderson showing for it. Stones likewise to his right, and it's played back for him. And now out towards Quansah again. 2-0 to England here on TalkSport, with Kane scoring both goals inside the last 16 minutes. Anderson to Rashford, who beautifully set up the second. Rashford, it's Kane, he's on a hat-trick. Can he get a shot in from a tight angle? He can't quite. Flashes it through the 6-yard box, but away from Rodgers and Saka, and it's taken a deflection on its way through and goes out of play for an England throw.
Wow, really great opportunity there. Rashford on the wing, just feeding one in to Kane, and he took a touch, tried to beat a player, and in the end got sort of eased out by 2 or 3 defenders. England will be happy now just to see the final whistle go. Job well done. Difficult place to come and play, and a good result.
Here's Rashford looking for goal number 3, and he very nearly found it with an effort that fizzed in from 25 yards out and had Strakosha beaten, but it went just the wrong side of the far post.
Yeah, I think that took a big deflection and the referee's not seen it. Rashford was adamant it did, and I was as well.
So Thomas Strakosha spots the ball down. Albania's looking visibly deflated now, and what a different story this might have been. Hodger missing a great opportunity to fire them into the lead. inside the opening 15 minutes of this second half. That would have been 1-0, and you just never know how things might have transpired from there. England survived that. They survived a defensive error with a miss-hit back pass that Dean Henderson came out and salvaged the situation. And then Harry Kane did what he does with 2 late goals to set up the victory. Serbia have beaten Latvia in the other game in this group. Ukraine have scored a second against Iceland, so they're going to be going through the playoffs. Here's O'Reilly. Back from him to Anderson. Into the feet of Rodgers. Behind him is Kwanzaa. Ahead of him is Foden. Foden can receive the ball and turn, drive forward, but he couldn't slip it off to Kane in time, and Albania will be able to get it away.
And the Albanians just down to 10 men at the moment, and damage limitation really. I don't think England haven't got too many inspirations regarding going forward, but just happy to see the game out, keep the ball moving, keep passing, and over the 2 games it's been a job well done.
England still looking just to gloss the night that little bit more. Kane trying to find a ball through inside the penalty area. Gets it back again. Reverse ball from Foden. Back for him, but snatching at what might be his last opportunity to complete his hat-trick. He's driven it wide. The full-time whistle goes. And England's campaign ends as it starts with a 2-0 victory against Albania. The conclusion of a perfect World Cup qualification campaign. 8 wins from 8, scored 22, conceded none. Only 1 European nation's ever won 10 consecutive competitive matches without conceding before. That was the great Spain side between 2014 and 2016. England have emulated that now and have won an 11th straight competitive international for the first time in their history. They're only historical footnotes to an excellent campaign, but they show that everything is rapidly moving in the right direction ahead of the business when it matters next summer. 2025 has been superb for England. Bring on 2026. Albania 0, England 2.
2026, a World Cup year. Are England actually going to win it? That's the big question. There's not a lot of evidence tonight here in Tirana that yet they'll go on and win it, but it's a qualifier. A qualifier for a team that's already won the group and got to the World Cup. Jude Bellingham subbed off, and we'll talk about that very shortly, but he was having pictures taken of him with some of the Albania staff on the touchline. Swap shirts as well. He's currently got an Albania shirt on. He's going around shaking hands with the opponents in the middle of the pitch. As some of the England players, having consoled opponents, go over to the England fans away to our right, who are holding aloft their George Cross flags. Harry Kane leading the players over. Bukayo Saka with him at the front of that queue, followed by Foden and the rest. As England make it a perfect qualifying campaign, you can't really ask for much more, but what we were looking for from tonight was some evidence that, yeah, even with players out, 7 changes, they can still turn it on, they can still play. There's backup in positions, there's more than one player for every position. Not necessarily sure that we got that. There were some good signs and there were some interesting things that probably need discussing and debating. But in all, it's a win, it's a clean sheet, and England are heading to the World Cup. And overall, when you look at it, Stuart Pearce, as the England players go over to the fans, and the cheers you can hear are the England fans saluting those players who have given them a perfect qualifying campaign. And overall, you can't complain. When you look at the table and how brilliant that table looks from an England point of view, 22 goals scored, none conceded, 8 wins out of 8. Regardless of how poor you might think the rest of the teams are in the group, you can't really complain, can you?
No, you can't. As I say, tonight was a tough test. I've got to say the Albanians very well organised, and England eventually scored 2 goals. They could have had another 2 very good opportunities, and the whole qualification campaign's been pretty good. A lot of bright sparks. I think we, as commentators and supporters, are looking at a team and thinking we've got a solidity about what we do. We've got players playing in their correct positions, and we've got competition for places, and I'm looking forward to the next 2 games in March.
How lucky are we to have Harry Kane?
one of the best in the world, my friend. You know, he knows where the goal is. You know, and well, listen, when his career comes to a close, if we haven't got any successors, we're going to be certainly knowing how good he is at that stage. But his goal ratio to games, his game intelligence, his teamwork, his professionalism, you name it, you can't overcook how good he is to this group of players.
So important. He's already been grabbed by one of the England media team. He will be in demand, Harry Kane. Both goals in this 2-0 win for England here in Tirana against Albania tonight. 7 goals in qualifying for the captain. And people have questioned maybe whether he should be captain. I can tell you there's a story in his former manager, Gareth Southgate's book, about how they went to an army training camp and did all that sheep dip stuff and got very muddy and went through their paces, put through their paces by generals and majors, etc. And Harry Kane was singled out by some of the British Army leaders as somebody who had leadership qualities. So if you're going to argue with those guys, then please feel free. But they said it. He's a captain and he's led England to victory tonight.
I thought you were going to say he was singled out as one of those that needed a good sheep dip.
We all need a good sheep dip. I thought there were some positives in there. We'll get into some detail about it very shortly, but Jude Bellingham must be talked about as well. I thought he was excellent. I thought he was one of our better players, but he's fouled Armando Broja, who, listen, he's no threat, Armando Broja. He's gone a couple of years without a Premier League goal. You know, this is somebody who really shouldn't be seen as any kind of threat to England. You shouldn't be getting booked for fouling Armando Broja, with no disrespect to him. But Jude Bellingham was booked and then had to be taken off, and he wasn't happy to be taken off. Had a close look at Jude Bellingham coming off the field, and yes, there was a handshake with Thomas Tuchel, but wasn't a lot of eye contact. You want to get straight to the bench to talk to some of the players who were sitting there. So I'm not necessarily sure that there was a problem there, but he didn't want to come off. It's a good thing, but it's his own fault that he had to come off, isn't it?
Well, it is, because as soon as that booking was put in place, and when you consider not just the booking in place, the fact we couldn't afford to lose a player to come off, straight away the bench went and told Morgan Rogers, get warmed up, you're coming straight on. Sensible management, and just one of those things. But you know full well both Kane and Bellingham were given special treatment, I think, on occasion when they were in possession of the ball and roughed up a touch. So it was probably a wise move to do what we did.
Craig Hoper, we spoke to before the game from the Daily Mail, tweeted Jude Bellingham not happy in the moments before coming off, which was clearly a sensible response to his earlier yellow card. Arms outstretched, he seemed to be suggesting to Tuchel that he should stay on. It's been observed.
I think we're reading too much into it now. I think, you know, there's been a lot written about Jude Bellingham leading into this game and the previous get-togethers last month, the month before. I think it's all been dealt with particularly well. Let's look at the positives. The team done particularly well. He come back and played his part in the team today, and we look forward to marching onwards.
Yeah, and the World Cup as well. Listen, that will no doubt be talked about on the next show, which is 6:30. Madge and Pards will be coming your... Sorry, 7:30. Madge and Pards will be coming your way. 03717 223344. So that's in around about half an hour. Here in Albania, we'll get a reaction from the England camp with our England correspondent, Faker Others, as well. And there's plenty to talk about from England's perfect qualifying campaign that wasn't quite perfect tonight, live on TalkSport.
Hello guys, and welcome again. Thank you for all the support here today. That is an unbelievable run for England, and now we are on our way to the World Cup. Now, we did have an upset time last time against Spain in this time, but will we be the first time in my life? Will we win the World Cup? Oh, that would be so good. It will be magnificent if we can all be part of the history. And if it happens this time. But all but not lost. Thank you for all the support here. What an amazing campaign. There's so many other games happening through this campaign, but we will see you all for England again. We will see you. We will not be doing any more. We will not be doing any more national games. Well, we will be doing some national games like friendlies and things like the women's and the things like that. But this will be the final of this time. England will be seeing England in the into, and I tell you now, the World Cup of 2026. And after all that, we all know what's about to begin. And thank you for absolutely everything. This is unbelievable. England are through to the World Cup. See you guys in the World Cup. Because I'm telling you, it's gonna be epic. And I will be doing live commentary. Not me, but some other people. But I will be streaming it live from my room in this place, listening to every single moment, of happiness or sadness, but I'm hoping we will get to that prize. If we get the winning goal in the semi-finals, we go through to the final against the USA or somebody or Argentina, and we actually win it. I'm telling you, that will be the best feeling I have ever felt. Come on, England. Come on, England. Come on, England. We are England and we will never die. Come on, England. Come on. 2026 World Cup coming soon. See you there. Come on, everyone. Let's go. And by the way, I'll be doing a trailer for the World Cup, but I will do that when it comes. And I tell you, thank you for joining. I will see you all in the next one. And the next one will be tomorrow. And I think tomorrow it will be. Just keep an eye on the YouTube channel. You will find out that the next streams will be until it will be Northern Ireland versus Luxembourg. So we'll be listening to that live, and then after that, then we'll be waiting. There will be a big blip in the big blip in this time. So guys, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and post notifications. See you all soon, and thank you for everything. 11 games unbeaten. And now, doom 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 doom. Welcome to Robotic Maniac Sports. Right here, right now. You can never miss a game. From the EFL to the Premier League. You can listen to all the to all the things you all want to know. But can I just say as well, all the things you want to know is right here, right now on Robotic Maniac Sport. And it's England through to the World Cup. It's the World Cup for England. And who will be champions? Or should I be the champions of the world? Will it be England? Or will it not be? Let's find out in 2026. Bye for now. Thank you for all the support. Bye for now. Doom 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 doom. Robotic Maniac Sports.